Hello everyone, my name is Aarti and you're watching hwnews. The morning began with chaos for legal fraternity in Chennai. Many of them were keenly waiting for Supreme Court hearing and at the same time the swearing in of Advocate Victoria Gowri as Madras High Court Judge. A petition was filed before the Supreme Court challenging Victoria Gowri's appointment as Madras High Court Judge. The petition was listed to be heard by the Supreme Court judges at around 10:30 am. The catch? It was the same time Victoria Gowri was to be sworn in as a Madras High Court judge. The petition, however, was dismissed by the Supreme Court, and even before that, the swearing-in ceremony was complete, thus clearing the path of Victoria Gowri's elevation as a judge. But why was there a controversy around her name as High Court judge anyway? What happened today? If at all she has to be removed from her post, what's the procedure now that she is a judge? Let's understand in today's video. But before that, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, you like this video and you comment below it. If you're watching on Facebook, then please follow our page. Advocate Victoria Gowri took oath as an additional judge of the Madras High Court on Tuesday at a time when the Supreme Court was still hearing the petitions against her appointment. There were two such petitions before the top court. During her swearing-in speech, she said that she will work towards liberating the marginalized. She said, and I quote, "I will strive to liberate the marginalized and to nurture fraternity in this diverse and beautiful land called India." Gowri also thanked the nation, her husband, two daughters, and spiritual Guru Mata Amritanandamayi. She said, "I thank Mata Amritanandamayi and Mother India. I thank my husband who stood by me through all my experiments in life and my two daughters. I bow to the noble feet of all the elder judges here and seek your blessings." Now, Gowri has been in the eye of the storm ever since the Collegium recommended her elevation to the Madras High Court on January 17th. Her old posts and tweets surfaced in which she had made comments against minority communities. This sparked a debate whether her elevation as a judge would hamper the fairness of judiciary. On Monday, a bench headed by Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud had put the plea of three Madras High Court lawyers opposing the appointment of Gowri for hearing on February 10th, but later on advanced it to February 7th after senior advocate Raju Ramachandran again mentioned it, saying that the centre has notified her appointment. Now, CJI D.Y. Chandrachud also disclosed that the Supreme Court Collegium has taken cognizance of the complaints about Gowri, which came to its notice after the recommendation was made. So, what was the issue with her appointment? The challenge to her elevation as High Court judge was based on some views expressed by her in the past, especially against Christian and Muslim community. As far as India is concerned, I would like to say that Christian groups are more dangerous than Islamic groups. Both are equally dangerous in context of conversion, especially love jihad. The problem of Christian, if the Islamic terror is green terror, then the Christian terror is white terror. Bharatnatyam should not be danced for Christian songs. How could the posture of Lord Nataraja be equated with the name of Jesus Christ? These are some of the views expressed by Victoria Gowri in the past as per a report published in Article 14. Apart from this, she was also a member of Bharatiya Janata Party and an office bearer. She served as a General Secretary of BJP Mahila Morcha by her own admission. Some of the tweets were made from an unverified Twitter handle that goes by the name Chaukidar Victoria Gowri. Some statements were made in two YouTube interviews, where another was made in an article for RSS magazine organizer. Now, let's talk about the petition against Victoria Gowri's judgeship. This sparked a protest from a section of advocates who challenged her elevation, accusing her of bias and questioned her fairness in discharging her duties as a judge in view of the comments made by her. A section of a bar criticized the recommendation as disturbing and against the interest of the independence of the judiciary. The protesting advocates highlighted her political affiliation and described her past comments as hate speech against religious minorities. In a letter dated February 2nd, 2023, to President Draupadi Murmu and to the Supreme Court Collegium, the lawyers had asked, and I quote, "In the context of Ms. Gowri's utterances, can any litigant belonging to the Muslim or Christian community ever hope to get justice in her court if she ever becomes a judge?" Members of the Madras High Court Bar, including advocates NGR Prasad, R. Vaigai, SS Vasudevan, Anna Matthew, and D. Nagasela, allege that Gowri's regressive views are completely antithetical to foundational constitutional values and reflect her deep-rooted religious bigotry, making her unfit to be appointed as High Court Judge. They had also urged for the proposal to be recalled. They said in the letter, and I quote, "We write with a sense of foreboding. In these troubled times, when the judiciary is facing unprecedented and unwarranted criticism from the executive, as we are apprehensive that appointments such as these may pave the way for undermining the independence of the judiciary, it is extremely critical at this juncture to safeguard the institution from being weakened by its own administrative action." Now, a writ petition was also filed in the Supreme Court on Monday, which was listed for hearing today, that is, on Tuesday. The petitioner said that it is apparent that all the relevant material regarding Advocate Victoria Gowri was not placed before the Supreme Court collegium. Now, let's talk about the high drama that happened in the Supreme Court today. Meanwhile, there was a high drama ahead of the hearing of the matter in the Supreme Court. The petitioner's lawyers sought for an early hearing as the oath-taking ceremony at the Madras High Court was scheduled at 10:35 a.m. The petitions were originally listed as item number 38 before a bench comprising Justices Sanjeev Khanna and M.M. Sundaresh. The lawyers were informed that the matter will be heard at the first court, that is CJI's bench, at 9:15 a.m. As the lawyers gathered there, the bench with 3 chairs was set up, indicating that it will be heard by a 3-judge bench. After waiting for almost 30 minutes, the lawyers were told that the hearing will take place at Court 7 before a special bench of Justices Sanjeev Khanna and B.R. Gowri. Justice Sundaresh, who hails from Tamil Nadu, recused himself as he was consulted by the collegium for the appointment of Gowri. There was no clarity about the timing of the hearing. Later, a list was published informing that the special bench will hear the matter at 10:30 a.m. The bench started hearing the matter, however, at 10:25, 5 minutes ahead of the scheduled time. Now, while this hearing was in progress, Gowri already took oath. SC dismissed the petition while observing that it is not the first time that a political person or a person with political background was chosen as a High Court judge. During the hearing, it noted the candidate chosen is an additional judge and there have been cases where persons have not been permanently appointed if the performance is not satisfactory. I don't think we will be in a position to say it's a question of eligibility, and secondly, we cannot direct the collegium. Now that brings us to the question whether judges with political leaning a norm. Victoria Gowri's appointment as a judge has sparked debate around appointment of advocates with political affiliations as a judge. But this is not the first time this issue has come to fore. You may well remember that the centre has yet not cleared names of 5 advocates recommended by Supreme Court Collegium for elevation as High Court judges. The centre cited various reasons including national security and even political affiliations. In case of John Satyan, who was to be elevated as High Court judge, the centre cited IB reports which flagged 2 posts by him against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In one of the posts said the IB report, Satyan had shared an article published in the Quint. In case of Somasekhar Soundaresan, who was recommended to Bombay High Court, the government said he is highly biased, opinionated person and that he had been selectively critical on social media on the important policies, initiatives and directions of the government. However, the collegium in an open letter defended the appointments and rejected the objections raised by the government. Now, here is something that we would like to draw your attention to. The debate around people with political affiliations or leanings or preference becoming a judge and whether this affects their decision while discharging their duties as a judge is as old as the debate around judges holding plum government postings after their retirement. But such appointments have been happening. Advocates, as per their profession, can represent anyone, even people in power. That is not to say that they cannot become a judge. But what happens when someone with a definite ideological leaning, political affiliation becomes a judge? That is something worth pondering on. But then if Gowri's appointment is being challenged because of her past political affiliations and her statements, then wouldn't that make objections raised by the centre in appointment of other 2 advocates as valid? Or one can say, if Victoria Gowri has been appointed despite her political affiliations, why is expressing opinions a problem with other two advocates in the case of these other two advocates whose appointment has not been cleared by the centre? It's how you look at it, but wouldn't it be a hypocrisy if Gowri's appointment is held as a wrong decision but the appointment of the other two welcomed? Now, you might have a different view on all of this. Let us know in the comment box what you think about this. Till then, keep watching HW News.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.